Hello and happy Christmas, my friends. I hope that you're doing well. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, I would love to share and extend my love and my peace to you. Traditionally, I always read with my students, especially. We read from A Course in Miracles, chapter 15, section 11, which is called Christmas as the End of Sacrifice. Christmas as the end of sacrifice. And so today we're going to start this series. I'm going to read and we're going to break it down just a little bit. I've never done it like this before and I just thought it would be great. So this will be a series of the 10 paragraphs of this section. So sit back and listen and just absorb what's going on here. All right? So here we go. Christmas as the end of sacrifice. Fear not to recognize the whole idea of sacrifice as solely of your making, and seek not safety by attempting to protect yourself from where it is not. Your brothers and your father have become very fearful to you, and you would bargain with them for a few special relationships in which you think you see some scraps of safety. Do not try any longer to keep apart your thoughts from the thought that has been given you. When they are brought together and perceived where they are, the choice between them is merely nothing more than a gentle awakening, and as simple as opening your eyes to daylight when you have no more need of sleep. So this whole section is called Christmas as the end of sacrifice, as the end of sacrifice. At the beginning, he says, fear not to recognize the whole idea of sacrifice as solely of your making. So any kind of idea of sacrifice that you have, sacrifice of your time, sacrificing other people, just sacrifice in general, just know that you've made that. Where the ego will tell you that other people are getting you to sacrifice something. They are not. You are choosing sacrifice. So this is a time to end all of that, Now, when he says your brothers and your father have become very fearful to you, that relates to sacrifice. Do you understand? Because you think, oh, I have to give them time, I have to give them energy, and I don't have enough time and I don't have enough energy, so I have to. So you become very fearful of your brothers and sisters, and he says of your father, which means God, right? So you have become fearful of God because you believe that God is asking you to be something that you're not. That's what's going on psychologically, especially in this beginning. And he says, once you bring together the thought that has been given you, which is love, and your thoughts, then you will begin to wake up. Bring a thought of love into your thoughts, and you will begin to wake up gently, right? So that's paragraph 1. Paragraph 2. The sign of Christmas is a star, a light in the darkness. See it not outside yourself, but shining in the heaven within, and accept it as a sign the time of Christ has come. He comes demanding nothing. No sacrifice of any kind, of any one, is asked by him. In his presence, the whole idea of sacrifice loses all meaning, for he is a host to God. And you need but invite him in, who is already there, by recognizing that his host is one, and no one thought alien to his oneness can abide with him there. Love must be total to give him welcome, for the presence of holiness creates the holiness that surrounds it. No fear can touch the host who created God in the time of Christ. For the host is holy as the perfect innocence which he protects, and whose power protects him. Now, there is a lot in this section, but I just want to highlight a couple things. First of all, the whole idea that the sign of Christmas is a star, a light in the darkness. That's important. See it not outside yourself, but shining in the heaven within, and accept it as a sign of the time of Christ has come. It means that what we do is we're always chasing after the light. We're always looking for the light. We're looking for the truth. We're looking for the sign. You know, the traditional story of following the North Star, trying to find it. He's saying, no. Know that it's already here. That's a very different orientation to your life. A very different orientation to your life. The other thing in this section is when he says, he comes demanding nothing. No sacrifice of any kind of anyone is asked by him. So, once again, this whole idea that God, source, love, whatever you want to call it, is not asking you to be anything than what you already are. Beautiful. All right, friends, this is paragraph 3:12. This Christmas, give the Holy Spirit everything that would hurt you. Let yourself be healed completely, that you may join with him in healing. And let us celebrate our release together by releasing everyone with us. Leave nothing behind, for release is total. And when you have accepted it with me, you will give it with me. All pain and sacrifice and littleness will disappear in our relationship, which is as innocent as our relationship with our Father and as powerful. Pain will be brought to us and disappear in our presence. And without pain, there can be no sacrifice. And without sacrifice, there love must be. The first thing I want to say about paragraph 3 is that it's something that you could read every day, right? This Christmas, give the Holy Spirit everything that would hurt you. So think about this for just a second. Every single day, if you gave up your control issues, if you gave up your need to be right, your need to make other people wrong or make them right, if you did that every day and you gave that up every single day, guess what? The experience of your life would be totally different. First of all, that's a big thing. And he says, let yourself be healed completely, that you may join with him in healing. And let us celebrate our release together by releasing everyone. So one of the things in the Course in Miracles, and this is all I'm going to say about this section, is that love is total. So you can't be like, well, you can do whatever you want to, but it's very difficult to have real inner peace when you're saying, well, those people deserve it and those people don't deserve it. And these are good people and those are bad people. This is radical and this is very difficult for the egoic or separated mind to get. But when you begin to get it, your whole life will change. And this is paragraph 4. You, who believe that sacrifice is love, must learn that sacrifice is the separation from love. For sacrifice brings guilt as surely as love brings peace. Guilt is the condition of sacrifice, as peace is the condition for the awareness of your relationship with God. Through guilt, you exclude your father and your brothers from yourself. Through peace, you invite them back, realizing that they are where your invitation bids them be. What you exclude from yourself seems fearful. For you endow it with fear and try to cast it out, though it is a part of you. Who can perceive a part of himself as loathsome and live within himself in peace? And who can try to resolve the conflict of heaven and hell in him by casting heaven out and giving it to attributes of hell without experiencing himself as incomplete and lonely? So, of course, there's quite a bit in this section, but I just want to pull out a couple of things. First of all, you who believe that sacrifice is love must learn that sacrifice is the separation from love. For sacrifice brings guilt as surely as love brings peace. What happens is we believe if we give up something, then it shows our love. If someone gives up something, it shows that they love us. That is very, very much the opposite of what the teachings of the Course in Miracles would say. It's not saying being selfish, but it is saying that when you deprive yourself of something, that means you are stronger for others. This is a completely radical thing, and it is very different from what the world will teach you. But remember, A Course in Miracles has one goal, and one goal only. It's true inner peace. So, it's very important. Also, the other thing I wanted to point out here is this line that says, who can perceive part of himself as loathsome and live within himself in peace? So what we do is we go, well, this part of us is good, that part is bad. This is good, which is what we do with other people too, right? And the world. So you can't ever truly have real peace unless you accept everything about yourself. All right? Welcome back, friends. Here is paragraph 5. As long as you perceive the body as your reality, so long will you perceive yourself as lonely and deprived. And so long will you also perceive yourself as a victim of sacrifice, justified in sacrificing others. For who could thrust heaven and its creator aside without a sense of sacrifice and of loss? And who could suffer sacrifice and loss without attempting to restore himself? Yet, how could you accomplish this yourself when the basis of your attempts is the belief in the reality of deprivation? Deprivation breeds attack, being the belief that attack is justified. And as long as you would retain the deprivation, attack becomes salvation and sacrifice becomes love. Okay, there is a lot in this paragraph, but I'm just going to take one thing for now, okay? The beginning. As long as you perceive the body as your reality, so long will you perceive yourself as lonely and deprived. And so long will you perceive yourself as the victim of sacrifice, justified in sacrificing others. That's huge. This whole thing is about sacrifice. So one of the main things in the Course in Miracles is I am not a body. You are not a body. You know this intellectually probably if you're listening to this right now. So the whole idea that you relate yourself to the body is there are no problems, but that's the problem. Because if you believe that you are a body, then on some level, not on some level, on the truth, you believe that deprivation is possible, that there's not enough food, there's not enough air. Of course, there's for the body there is, but what are you? One of the things in A Course in Miracles constantly says, it's trying to help you to remember the truth of who you are. the truth of who you are.